Hello, Heather here. Today I know is my day to take the leap. The leap of what's holding me behind and the leap of what will set me free. It's time to stand up for women's rights and men's rights and solve a conundrum that needs to be solved. Many of you know that I publicly announced that I found out my father, who raised me, was not my DNA father. And learning about that lie in my life was really difficult. It was really, really difficult. And when I think about my mother and the things that people are saying and doing to her because of my discovering this, imagine what it must have been like for a 16-year-old girl to hold a secret like that for 47 years. Imagine what must have been happening in her life for her to feel like she needed to do that. And imagine what it would be like 46 or 47 years later to have to be answering to that and reliving whatever it was that made you create that lie for peace. I believe that God gifted my mother, me, that day or night when she was 16 and conceived me, to help her with whatever pain she was experiencing, whatever she needed to build, what her dreams were made of. I was implanted in her to work under and through her for all these years as a gift to her, because she's special and she's deserving of love. And I think about the father that she picked for me, handpicked, because he isn't my DNA, and she couldn't have picked a better man. He taught me about honesty and about nature and animals and plants and the cycle of life and all the beautiful things that I needed to later save my own life and my own health. My mother gifted me the right father, no matter what caused her to tell the lie. So when you bump up against her in life and you have judgment, maybe have a little grace for what that 16-year-old little girl was going through when she conceived me. And then I think about what happened to me at work. As a single woman, newly single, and men who approached me in the workplace, in the offices, or in the hotel rooms that we were staying in on business trips. Where it was like they just wanted me as their cake when they had their wife at home. I didn't just want to be someone's cake. And I wrestled with that a lot. And there were operational practices in the workplace that festered those types of experiences. What kind of offices do we want to think of our men being at in the day when they're not at home with us, their wives? Do we want them trying to get some cake? What about our women? What kind of experiences do we want them having in their offices when they're not at home? You know, it wasn't a fun experience, and it really made me relive a lot of the traumas that I had experienced in my homes. And maybe why love was evading me. And as I relived the traumas in my home from childhood and on, I blew up my family's lives too. Made them all start questioning the secrets that had been happening under their noses. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I really, really didn't. I just couldn't figure out what the answer was of having true love at home. A man who looked at me and cherished me for the home I was providing for us and our family. And when the love wasn't fully there anymore, having the courage to pivot, to bring it in, to create a remembrance of what it is about. You know, I didn't want to be someone's cake in the office. But on the weekend, when I was out and exploring life and the potential of a new partner, when a married person came along, it didn't scare me because I was that exact married person pivoting to another potential because what was in my home wasn't quite right. And I know it takes time to make that decision and to tear apart something that you've worked so hard to build to make it better, happier, stronger. So we have two things. I think it's really pretty simple. We have two things. Women need your love and adoration. And men need your honesty. They need you to tell them what you want and what you need. Work together to accomplish it, whether you accomplish it together or apart. You found each other on this journey and you love each other. You want what's best for each other, even if it's not the person in front of you. When it becomes the pivot that's best for both of you, it's easier. We need to think for a moment about what we're doing in our homes and the experiences that we're creating for our children. And think about maybe what those little white lies in your home, how they might erupt in 46, 47 years. We have the opportunity to clean up whatever we've messed up. Start having clear, aligned vision of a future where men are focused on their families, women are focused on their families, and the workplace is how they're accomplishing for their families. The two are directly related. When things are happening in the workplace that shouldn't be happening, it's because there's something in the home that's happening that needs resolved. It is a spiritual leadership. It is understanding the spirit of you and what you want and why you're looking for cake outside of your home. What's missing in your home? With my first husband, he was calling the sex lines, magazine numbers in the magazines. After I had my son, I was a teenager. And do I think it's from other silly teenage girls that just didn't know and terrified him that my vagina was going to be as big of as a house? I don't know. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but you get my point. I don't know. But the fact is he was turned out instead of in. And then my second husband, he wasn't having affairs that I know of. He was in love with his motorcycles. And I just didn't love to ride them as much as he did. That was it. It was simple. Maybe there's a woman out there that loves to ride motorcycles as much as he does. And that's his perfect person. So some people might judge me that I've been married more than once. But I say it's because I have a conviction of what I want in my home. Love and illumination and seeing each other as our whole meal, not just our cake. They're what we're working for, what we're living for, what we're wanting to find retirement time to play for. So, I'm still out there searching for my number 3. But my number 3 will be focused on me, just like I'm focused on him. We will see each other as our cake and dinner and appetizers and the whole 9 yards. There will be so much fun in our home and in our ability to play and provide the life that we want. There won't be a need to look for cake outside. Someone committed to the sanctity of marriage and the actual intention of marriage. I want to help people figure out what's going on in their homes that's causing them problems in their workforce. When you truly illuminate yourself and your needs and your wants and your fire and your passion, you're a valuable human to potential partners and business practices. So, that's the leap I'm taking today. I have worked in beautiful places, and I have seen employee engagement practices that are polished and pretty and perfect, and some that are challenging and detrimental and need revision. And I've seen a way to do that. How to break down the silos between our health and our organizations, because it is our health that impacts our actions within the organizations. We must start there. Marriages are meant to couple us together, but not chokehold us together when things aren't working, right? Marriages should be reviewed from time to time, just like your job should be reviewed from time to time. Is this working? Is this moving along the way that we intended it to? There should be visionary periods at certain terms in marriages to identify you're on the same path. And then it shouldn't be so hard to rip it apart if you're not. It shouldn't be so painful. It should be a little bit more loving. You chose each other for a reason. You know that that's a good human, even if you're angry with them right now for whatever. So, my 2 cents for a Wednesday morning. Peace, love, and happiness always. Heather here.